Hey gang, Mark McCall here. Let's talk about contrast. Contrast is defined as the degree of difference between the lightest and darkest parts of an image. An image that is too high in contrast is not going to be as appealing to the human brain and the brain of a competition judge as an image that's low in contrast. So I have found an image that we're going to work on. We're going to repair the contrast of this image, but we're going to start by looking at it and squinting your eyes. And tell me what you see when you squint to this image. You're probably seeing two things. This area here and this area here. But we're also suffering from darkness in this part of the image. So the contrast of the image is too high. The difference between the highlight and shadow is too wide. We need to get those tones closer together. And here's how we're going to do it. We're going to start by selecting all of the areas that are too bright. So we're going to do a quick selection. And if you'll notice, I don't go into the shadow part of the mountain because that part of the image is not affecting our contrast. It's really this area that is in the sunlight. We're also going to select this area down here. Okay, on a PC we're going to go Control J. On a Mac it would be Command J, and we're going to jump that to its own layer. So you'll notice these parts of the image are now on their own layer. We're going to change the layer mode from normal to multiply. Yeah, that really brought down the exposure in a hurry, but it's too much. So we can lower the opacity to taste, but before we do, we're going to erase the edges of this using either the erase tool or my favorite, a layer mask. So we're going to put a layer mask on it, and we are going to erase the edge. And before we lower the opacity, we're going to do this step because that makes it easier to see. Once we lower the opacity, it's a little more difficult to see. By the way, a larger brush with a soft edge is going to be a little bit easier to blend in what we're erasing. Okay, now we're going to erase the edge of that. Okay, let's look at a before and after. Boy, that made a big difference in the exposure, didn't it? But we're going to adjust it. We're going to lower the opacity just a little bit. Okay, we're just going to eyeball that. We're going to put that at 70%. Okay, now we're going to go after that dark area in the lower right hand corner. This tree line right here, as well as part of the lake. Okay, same thing. Command J or Control J, but this time we're going to change the layer mode from normal to screen. Wow, what a difference that made. Again, using the erase tool, or my favorite, the layer mask tool, we're going to erase the edge of that all the way around. And then we're going to do a quick before and after. Look at that big difference. And big difference there. So you'll notice an image that has more contrast isn't as appealing as an image that's lower contrast. So get those bright areas in your image down, get the low areas in your image up to lower the contrast of the whole image. If I were preparing this for print competition, I would probably take some of the color in this area here and add it to this area here. Same goes for this area here, but this is really just about the contrasty part of this image. Okay, I hope that helps. Good luck in print competition.